Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. We're starting to gather a little bit of a crowd over here as I scrape these scraper ends. We have to scrape the ends of the barn because we have V scrapers, so it's unable to scrape this last little bit of the barn. So I guess a huge trade-off from scraping the entire barn, but these ends still need to be cleaned up, along with these crosswalks that are starting to ice over because it is negative 15 out this morning. Kind of a disgusting number if you ask me. I'm sick of the cold. But days are starting to get a little bit longer, so I think that our cold days are beginning to be behind us. So yeah, had some hard chunky stuff. There's Jared. Hey Jared. So yeah, we get these scraped up and we're gonna carry on with the rest of our chores. So here comes the scraper now. These heifers would please look out. This is the alley scraper. It's gonna come back just about to that corner wheel or that gate, and then it's gonna run forward. These wings are gonna open up and it's gonna push the poop. In theory, they usually work. Sometimes they don't. Here we are, scraper's getting back to the back. Big Ricky's dropping some feed in front of our dry cows here. It's about to get really foggy. I can see it already. Kind of waiting for the scraper to get back so I can just open it up. Here's where it stopped here. And I'll just kick these open, just so it's opened up a little faster. I'm sure it would open in time, but yeah, it ensures it gets everything. So here the scraper goes. It's gonna pick up that poop. It's not a very fast process. There you go. The dry cows here, in which you can hardly see their pen, are fed a relatively low energy diet compared to our dairy cows. There is a large portion of rye in here. That is what this longer stuff is. There is corn silage. Here's a chunk of corn silage, some haylage, and then a mix of minerals, and then I believe there's some cocktail mix in here. We don't always feed cocktail mix, but it is a good lower energy supplement for putting in the place of corn silage and haylage both. It's kind of a middle of the road choice, and it's pretty easy to grow as like a buffer crop, or like a crop that you want to put in like after you take an alfalfa field out. Works pretty good for that. So we do feed some of that seasonally, depending on how much we have, but right now we have some, so we're feeding it. Although it is cold, it's a beautiful looking morning. Very crisp outside. Luckily it's not windy, so it always helps when it's not windy because it's always the wind that kills you. But this is always probably one of my favorite views. It's this view, and when the sun is setting on the freestall barn, it's just beautiful out here. So always count on a nice sunrise. It's always nice. So now we're headed to the mixer truck to see if we can't get that fired up. It's got a few issues with it that need to be addressed more in the springtime. There's some water in the air lines somewhere. We can't get it out. We tried putting a different filter on. I'm not sure what else we tried. That's more of a Big Ricky task there, but it's quite dark in here, so you guys will just have to play her by sound. Ooh, this truck is plugged in. Not 100% sure that plugging in really does anything for this truck because it always starts cold. So here we go, we're gonna give her a fire. Stay with me! You can do it! Don't gel on me now. There you have it. It's running. That's warm. So, we got this torpedo heater set up on the air compressor. Otherwise, this truck will not build air above 40 pounds. And that is not enough to release the brakes, nor is it enough to start mixing the ration. So that's gonna take probably 5 minutes or so to get it warmed up. So we're gonna sit and twiddle our thumbs for about 20 where it's warm. It is quiet and warm in here. We are in the old stanchion barn. Lights are on. Animals are probably gonna wake up here pretty quick. We did turn the fans off last night. It was pretty froze up yesterday, the barn cleaner chain was. That was more so probably due to, I don't think it was cleaned out decent over the weekend. That's always unfortunate, but we're gonna try and run it now, get it rocking and rolling before we come in here and bring feed, to make sure that it hopefully has enough time to get cleaned out before we get done feeding in here, so that I don't have to make another trip back to shut it off. So we're gonna go ahead and try it, see what happens. Oh, it popped. It popped, it might go. That's nice. It's always good when the barn cleaner runs. I know yesterday it was froze up and chain ran off and everything. It was quite a disaster. Here's the frozen poop coming out. So, glad it's running. We are back in the mixer truck. We have successfully gotten 40 pounds of air. There's nothing to brag about because we need to nearly double that to move. So now we're gonna add some air pumps to it now that the truck's warmed up a bit. And we're gonna get that puppy to climb. It'll probably take a couple more minutes, to be honest with you. There we have it. The feed is mixing. Gonna go pull our turbo heater off. And then we're gonna go feed some heifers. We are now pulling up to the granary. This is where we keep our special needs heifers. If there's any heifers that have any sort of foot issue, leg issue, anything, we put them in here. Everyone is actually looking pretty well in here right now, but we also need to keep animals in here in the winter time just so that the water doesn't freeze up here, and we just keep it fresh. So I'm gonna fire up my discharge and run some feed off for them, and I ran out of air. This is miserable. Next up, we're pulling up to the old stanchion barn, which is right here. That's where we were running that barn cleaner. And we got this little elevator that we're gonna pull up to, and that is what we're going to use to run the feed up into wheelbarrows, in which we use the wheelbarrows to feed these heifers. So if you'll excuse me, I need to not run into anything. our, let that run for a second. We're gonna start dispensing some feed. We're gonna try not to open this up too far, otherwise we'll plug her right up. So it seems like right around 4 is pretty reasonable. And then the feed starts running out. And we need to hurry up and get in there. Feed's all laid down. Now we top dress all this feed with a grain mix of oats and corn and minerals and all kinds of good stuff that's in these pails. So I'm gonna go ahead and give all these, not a pail per pen, but there's a few pails. They're gonna get great. We sent little Ricky off to go feed the heifers. I'm just checking on the barn cleaner. It's nice and cleaned out, so we're gonna go ahead and shut her down, and we're gonna carry on with the rest of our chores here this morning. All right, we are back in the barn. We're just cozy and warm, and we're doing a quick check on prefresh. I noticed that this one cow over here, her water obviously broke here, so she is most likely having a calf. I would have to say it's probably pretty safe to assume. So we're gonna get her up. Come on. Try not to get hit in the head by her tail. And we're gonna get her in the bedding pack, and then there's this other cow here that's kind of got a bag rolling up on her. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take her out. I have been out of tail paint for a little while here, and it's kind of unfortunate because you don't realize how nice it is having all your cows marked with their due dates on their backs until you don't have those numbers. And you can't just run in here quick and be like, hey, she's due yesterday, we should probably get her out of there. So I had a little mix up of our cows yesterday, and I think that cow actually was in there yesterday, but yeah, she obviously made her way out of the pen, and now we got her back in the pen. So we're gonna leave her be. Hopefully she has her calf pretty soon here, because it's always best when they have it right away in the morning. Get it done, took care of, then you can move on with the rest of your day. All right, we are now down by the robots in the office here by the computer. So first off, I'm looking at this one cow. I started treating her yesterday, and she has mastitis, and we determined this first by, we went on the computer and went on her health reports, and we found that she was high up there, and we can see that she's high conductivity on her left rear quarter. That can mean one of two things: she is light in that quarter, or she has mastitis. In this case, she did have mastitis, or does. And we looked a little further, and we can see her temperature here, and I'll get up close. I know it's not the best, but it takes a long time to screen record, so I'm going to do it this way. See that her temperature was spiking at 105, 104. That's pretty hot. And then we actually started treating her here, and we got her temperature back down to 101, 100, and we did that with aspirin. So we can look at her activity here, and you can see it right here. She's obviously feeling sick. Her rumination minutes way down, eating minutes way down. We went ahead and gave her some rumination pills and some aspirin, and we were able to get her rumination back up, and her eating minutes came up a little bit along with her milk production. So we're gonna go ahead and do that same thing today. We're gonna give her 2 aspirin pills, 2 rumination pills, and then we're gonna treat that quarter with today and try to help her clear that up. Her milk production is already coming up a little bit, which is a very good sign. I think that she's gonna be a quick turnaround cow. Her mastitis was not very bad yesterday, so it's one of the better cases that we get to treat here. So I do have a couple other cows I want to look up, but I think we're gonna get away with just treating her for mastitis, and then I think there's one more cow that I want to check that had low rumination, just see how her body in general is doing, and then I want to also give her some rumination pills. Got a big box of goodies here. I'm actually all out of pills in my little container. Get these things in bulk, so they're in pretty big boxes here. So I just like to keep them in here for convenience. So just load this thing up with as many pills as I can get in here. Just that I don't have to keep a big box in there because there's already enough stuff to look at. And just the convenience of going in this pail quick and grabbing some pills. So throw a bunch of them in here. So we're out in the foggy barn. Actually, our cow we need to take care of is right here eating some feed. 5298, got her marked with an M for mastitis, so everyone knows she's treated. Anybody that comes in here needs to handle any of these animals knows what's going on. So she was real stubborn yesterday. So come on, girl, we're gonna go in the headlock again and get you feeling right. So come on, girl, let's go. You know where to go. Come on, let's go. Always puts her head in that man pass. All right, let's go. Come on, you know what we're doing. You guys are probably gonna fall. Maybe not. All right, we got her locked in here. Now we can proceed around her, get her head where it needs to go. It's got a horn that's growing around too. Come on, girl. Back her up. Back her up. Come on. Go in the headlock. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. You got her. There you go. Good work. Good work. Now she's locked in. Now we can go ahead and give her pills and treat that quarter. Easy as that. Alright, so we're gonna hope that she swallows those pills, and then we're gonna go back here, and I believe it was her left front. I need to grab my paper. I lost my paper. I found my paper. It is her left rear. I don't know why I thought it was left front, but we're gonna go ahead and strip this quarter. Get any of those chunks or anything she's got in there. That is the mastitis itself. See if I can maybe get some for you guys. I think there's, yeah, see there's a little bit of it, that kind of stringy stuff. That is mastitis. Essentially, it's the infection in her udder. A lot of times to make the quarter a little bit harder. And we just got to get that stuff out. And then we can go ahead and treat it. So it'll take a minute here, milk them by hand, just getting anything out that we can. So now we got the quarter all stripped out. We're gonna go ahead and get a disinfectant wipe, and then we're gonna get this end just all cleaned up, so that we're not pushing any more bacteria in there or anything. There's a couple things that cause mastitis. Sometimes it can just be the sheer tit end being abnormal, which this one kind of looks like it might be a little bit abnormal, but nothing too crazy. Can be just from bedding, and can just be plain a cow just not feeling right and not fighting bacteria properly, and then getting mastitis. So you can see we can stick that up in there, and then we can inject the medicine into the quarter, Give it a little massage. And then that should actually help her greatly to help fight the infection. So then we go ahead and let her out after I make sure she didn't spit her pills back out. She did not, so we let her out of here. So in case you're wondering what the robots sound like when they call us, that is what they sound like. You think in this time and age, you think that it would sound more, I don't know, like understandable, but no, that's what it sounds like. So that was robot 3. I'm guessing that with how fogged up the barn is, that it's not able to register cows in there, so, but I'm gonna double check. Wonder if the robots can see, because I can't. So right now it still thinks that cow's still in there. That's because of the fog. So take a little bit for that to clear up, and it should hopefully figure itself out. Okay, our final cow, that 5703, I don't think I mentioned her number before, but checked her out and she looks to be doing a lot better than she was. She gave 23 pounds of milk. She is a first lactation heifer, 9 days in milk, so that's not horrible by any means. So she seems to be coming around. We're just going to keep an eye on her these next couple days. But as long as everything keeps progressing forward, should be good to go and keep milking along. So should be done with cows. Just kind of going through, make sure there's nothing I missed. But I think we got everything under control here and be able to proceed with our day. I went ahead and checked on that cow again. She did not have her calf yet, nor is calf very far along. So I'm gonna leave her be for a bit. I don't know how long she's been in any type of labor. I just noticed her when I walked through, so I'm glad I caught her. But just doing a walk through the barn quick, see how all the calves are doing. These ones about 2 weeks old, if not a little bit older. They're just recently moved out here. These 4 were moved out here yesterday from the holding area. Just kind of walking along, checking these calves out. Everybody's looking pretty good. Heads are up. That one's kind of got its head down a little bit, so keep that one on my watch list. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to give it something. I'll see what we have for antibiotics for it. So I went ahead and I grabbed some penicillin we're gonna give to this calf. Probably supposed to give to a calf this size probably about 2 cc's, but I'm gonna go ahead for this first shot. I'm gonna give him 3 cc's and then we'll maybe back it down a little bit. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's what I'm doing. So I got my syringe and I'm gonna give it the shot to its neck. I don't know where you guys can even see. It's kind of far down there, but we got it right here. Pull its head back. Go ahead, put that in his meat. Give him the shot. Pretty simple. And then there's another calf that's got a zip tie. Oh, it is this one. Oh, so this is the one with a swelled up knee. So actually was already. Dad said that there was one with a zip tie that he was giving penicillin to yesterday already, and there's actually this one. So that penicillin will help with its slight knee infection there and any respiratory it might have. So I'll go ahead and go back, get this stuff cleaned up, and this should be it for my morning chores. So yeah, not everything is pretty. That's just the fact of farming. Sucks that stuff like this happens, but you get a sick calf, then it doesn't move around like it's supposed to, and then it gets infections, and it's never good. So we're doing everything we can to try to help that calf. See how everybody's doing. Growing nicely. Looks like everybody's pretty comfortable in here. Nobody's shivering, so that's a good sign that everyone's pretty healthy in here. Definitely got some little bit frosty noses on some of these. It's just because it is quite frigid out here. So walking along. Everybody looks like they're thriving in here. Now we're in the group barn. These are all our group calves. One adjustment we did make in here, we moved all of these pail holders up before this rail, which these are actually designed for bottles, but we wanted to do pails, so they kind of modified them for us. But these rails here were a little bit lower, and some of them were having a hard time getting their heads out. We went ahead and moved all of them so that they're sitting flush with that square tubing on top, and I think it's been working a little bit nicer. Some of these headlocks, they're just weren't quite big enough for them to get their heads out with that little bar in the way. So just walking along. This pen is getting weaned right now, about 5 months old, and then these are all weaned calves here in these 3 pens. Finally started using all 3 pens. We were just using these 2 pens for a while, just kind of went and undercrowded them a little bit, so we got 6 in a pen right now. Looking to move some of these out and get them towards their silage diet. They've been doing really well on their hay here. Been going through about a bale a week actually. Between these 18 calves, go through 1 large square bale of alfalfa grass hay. These are not humongous, but these are they're 4 strings. They're, what are they? 3 by 6 or 4 by 6. I think they're 4 by 6. I don't know. Can't think right now. Not in the hay and era right now. But they've been hammering down on hay. So yeah, I guess that'll be it for morning chores. Probably just a couple things. Probably have to help everybody else get done with their chores as I have all my stuff done. And yeah, I'll just move on to the rest of our day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Trying to get some more of those chore times. You guys really seem to enjoy watching us do chores and working with cattle and stuff. So went ahead and did another one of them. Keep rolling these puppies out and doing whatever you guys want me to do. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.